English Listening Practice. Episode 5. How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Listening Practice from English Listening Pod. I'm Olivia, and today we are going to talk about a special topic that can help us feel happier and calmer. We will explore ideas from the book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, by Dale Carnegie. I will explain these ideas in simple and clear English, so if you're at the A1 level, this podcast is perfect for you. Everything will sound like a friendly chat. Let's begin our journey toward a worry-free life. Worry is something we all feel from time to time. It is a feeling of unease or fear about something that might happen in the future. We sometimes worry about our jobs, our health, our relationships, or even small things like being late for an appointment. A little worry can help us prepare, but too much worry can make our minds tired and our hearts heavy. For example, my sister worked in an office and worried all the time about making mistakes. She thought about every email she sent and she stayed up late checking her work again and again. Her worry took away her sleep and made her feel anxious every morning. If you feel like my sister, you are not alone. Today, we will talk about how she and you can start to let go of these worries. First, we need to understand one simple truth. Most of the things we worry about never happen. Imagine you worry every day about catching a cold. You check the weather, you wash your hands, and you avoid going out. But in the end, you may never get sick. You have spent hours and energy on something that didn't happen. Worry is like a rocking chair. It keeps you busy but takes you nowhere. To break this habit, we first notice our worries. When a worry thought comes, we say to ourselves, "There is that worry again." This small step, just noticing, is the first move toward changing how we think. Next, let us look at a method to analyze our worries. It has 3 parts: ask, analyze, and act. First, ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? By asking this, you face your fear directly. For example, imagine you worry about a job interview. You might think, what if I say the wrong thing and not get the job? If the worst happens, you will still look for another job. You might learn from this experience and do better next time. Most worst-case scenarios are not as bad as we imagine. After you ask about the worst outcome, you analyze how to accept that outcome. You tell yourself, if the worst happens, I can accept it calmly. I will learn and move on. Acceptance doesn't mean you like the outcome. It just means you give up the struggle against something you cannot change. When you accept, you free up energy to focus on what you can do. In our job interview example, you accept that you might not get the job. Then you ask, can I live with that outcome? The answer is yes, because life goes on and new possibilities appear. The final step is to act. Now that you have accepted the worst, you can think about how to improve the situation. You ask, what can I do to prevent this worst from happening? You prepare your answers. Practice common questions and learn about the company. You use your energy to plan and to practice. This action replaces worry with productive effort. It feels better because you see progress instead of going in circles in your mind. Let us consider another real-life example. My brother was a student who worried about his exams. He imagined failure and missed sleep. When he learned the Ask, Analyze, Act method, he wrote down his fears. I might fail math. He asked, what is the worst? He might fail and repeat the class. He accepted that outcome. Then he acted by making a study plan, reviewing past papers, and asking his teacher for help. His worry faded as he put his steps into action. He slept better and felt ready when exam day came. Another strategy is living in day-to-day compartments. This means focusing only on today and not worrying about tomorrow. There is a helpful image. Imagine each day as a completely sealed room. You live inside that room and do your best today. Tomorrow has its own room. When you are in today's room, you don't carry yesterday's failures or tomorrow's worries with you. For example, one of my coworkers uses this idea in her small shop. She used to worry about her sales year ahead. Instead of thinking about next year's numbers, she asked, "What can I do today to serve my customers better?" She cleaned, she greeted, and she ordered fresh products. She lived in today's room. When tomorrow came, she opened the next door. She handled tomorrow then. Practicing gratitude is another way to reduce worry. When we focus on what we have, rather than what we might lose, we shift our minds into a positive direction. You can keep a simple gratitude journal. Each night, write down 3 good things that happened today. They can be small, like a kind word from a neighbor or a warm cup of tea. Over time, you train your mind to see positive events, and this makes worries smaller. One of my neighbors tried this. She struggled with worry about her family's future. She started writing down one thing each evening. A friendly wave in the hallway. Over the weeks, her list grew, and her anxiety lessened. Sometimes worry comes from a fear of criticism or rejection. We worry about what people might think of us. A helpful idea here is to remember that most people are busy with their own lives. They worry about their own problems and pay little attention to what we do. Imagine you are on a stage under a bright light. You feel everyone watches you. But in reality, most people don't notice every small move. Reminding ourselves of this can ease social worries. For example, one of my students worried about speaking in a small group. She thought everyone would judge her English. She realized that people were interested in what she said, not how she spoke. When she focused on sharing her idea, her worry faded. Let us also talk about physical action to calm the mind. When our bodies move, our minds change. A quick walk, simple stretches, or deep breathing exercises can break the cycle of worry. Think of a short walk around the block when you feel anxious. As you walk, you breathe deeply and notice the sky, the trees, and the fresh air. Your body relaxes, and your mind becomes clearer. This simple break often helps you return to your tasks with a calmer mind. Connecting with others is another powerful tool. Sharing our worries with a friend or family member lightens the burden. Sometimes just talking about what we fear makes the worry feel less scary. A counselor named Maria suggests this. When you talk, try to explain your worry in clear words. This gives you distance from the worry and lets you see it more objectively. A friend named Juan did this. He worried about his presentation at work. He spoke to his sister. As he explained his fear, he realized his worry was about forgetting a word or two. His sister suggested he carry note cards to remind him of key points. He used the cards and felt much more confident. Acts of kindness help us stop worrying too. When we focus on helping others, we shift away from our own fear. Volunteering or simply helping a neighbor can lift our mood. A woman named Martha worries about her health. She decided to spend one afternoon each week helping at a community center. She met new people, and she felt a sense of purpose. Her own worries felt smaller when she saw the needs of others. Learning to forgive is another step toward peace of mind. Holding on to anger or resentment fuels worry. We replay situations over and over, and our minds stay stuck. Forgiveness frees us. It doesn't excuse the wrong, but it frees our hearts. Imagine a friend who once hurt you. You might continue to worry about speaking with that friend. When you practice forgiveness, telling yourself, "I forgive you," and I move on. You let go of the past. You open the door to new possibilities and calmer thoughts. We should also build confidence through small wins. Each time we face a worry and take action, we prove to ourselves that we can handle challenges. Make a list of small tasks that feel important but not too hard. Then, do one each day. It could be calling a classmate, fixing a small item at home, or sending an email you have delayed. Each completed task builds confidence and makes future worries less scary. Another tip is to keep busy with meaningful work. Idle time often invites worry. When we fill our days with useful and engaging activities, we leave little room for negative thoughts. Choose tasks that match your goals. If you want to learn cooking, spend time trying new recipes. If you want to read more, set aside a quiet hour for books. When you see your progress, you feel calm and motivated. We must remember to balance work and rest. Overworking can actually increase worry because our bodies and minds become exhausted. Rest and relaxation are essential. Plan short breaks during your day. Even 5 minutes of doing nothing, just sitting quietly, can help. You might listen to calm music or practice gentle breathing. This rest recharges you and makes you more effective when you return to work. Connecting with nature brings peace as well. Studies show that spending time outdoors lowers stress and reduces worry. You don't need a long trip. A short walk in a park, sitting by a tree, or even watching birds from a window can help. A graphic designer named Vanessa placed a small plant on her desk. When she felt anxious, she looked at the plant's green leaves. This simple view calmed her mind and made her worry lighter. Developing faith or spiritual practice also helps many people find peace. Prayer, meditation, or time in reflection connects us with something bigger than ourselves. This connection can comfort us when we worry about things we cannot control. A farmer named Bob used a morning prayer practice. He spent 5 minutes each day giving thanks and asking for strength. This practice grounded him and reduced his worries about the weather or market prices. Remember that to stop worrying is a process. We will still have worries from time to time. That is part of being human. The goal is not to eliminate worry completely, but to manage it so that it doesn't control our lives. Use the tools we discussed. Notice your worry. Ask and analyze. Live in day-tight compartments. Practice gratitude. Breathe and move. Connect with others. And forgive. Each time you use a tool, you build your worry management muscles. Before we close, I want to share one more story. My roommate Ryan faced a big challenge. He lost his job and didn't know how to pay his rent. He thought about worst cases and accepted them. Then he took action. He updated his resume, asked friends for leads, and practiced interview skills. He also volunteered at a local food bank to keep busy and to help others. Within weeks, he found a new job. His worry had been heavy, but by choosing action over fear, he moved forward. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope these ideas help you learn how to stop worrying and start living. Remember, each small step matters. Notice your thoughts, practice a tool, and take action. Over time, you will feel lighter and more confident. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below, and tell us one thing you will do tomorrow to face a worry. Together, we can support each other and build a happier, calmer life. See you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.